Boa Games. Hello and welcome back to Koi Boy Games. This is going to be the second playthrough today of Resident Evil 6. So here we go. I just got back from the new Star Wars movie, The Rise of Skywalker. It was
He said it was some
okay.
Sort of fog. This thing's
I don't know how I really feel about it, but
got infected.
mainly because, well, spoiler alert, skip ahead to later in the video,
Then why is it so quiet?
if you don't want to hear this, but, I feel, not many people are going to actually watch this video till, it's actually, out and stuff. So, anyhow, I just, it's kind of sad, Kylo Ren died. He was... I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't grow up with the original Star Wars. It never was like a thing in my family. So when I finally got into it with all the newer ones. I don't know. Kylo Ren was just a character that really spoke to me, and I kind of like how he went out. It wasn't bad, but it's just. The whole last scene was awkward, and here's why. First off, there was like this weird kissing scene between them, and it was really awkward because they just stared at each other. And before that, they were pumping their life force energy into each other, but so Rey went down, then Kylo or Ben is oh, okay, I gotta save her. So he puts his his force energy into her. She wakes up. Then it's like a back and forth between that throughout the whole movie, because she kills him but then brings him back to life. Then he dies, you think, but he doesn't die, and then he puts it back into her, and it's just oh, hi there, zombie. It's just a whole weird kind of thing. I don't know. The whole thing was just kind of weird to me, I guess. Especially that they kind of tried oh, you're a love interest. No, you just died. And then yeah, I mean, there's another love interest later, which makes more sense. Arguably, it's the better choice, but I don't know. I just in a way, for it being the ending, I kind of wish, I think they did a good job. I didn't want it to really end, but I get what kind of needed to. But I wish, I just liked Kylo Ren as a character, and seeing him go was kind of harder. I mean, that being said, I know all the other ones killed off literally everyone, but yeah, literally everyone you know and love from those series dies, so it's a little sad. But you get through. I have a bit of a cough.
I wonder if there are any survivors.
No. As far as the capture card, I got one now, but still using Upload Studio just because it wasn't the right one, so I'm buying another. I'm hoping to get more games from older consoles and just really general kind of stuff. I want to start doing some plays of Wii, GameCube, that kind of, because I liked a lot of those games. A lot of childhood built up into them. I just like to share them because I kind of, not so much with Xbox, but with, I don't know, with Wii and GameCube, I just went overboard on buying stuff, and I don't know. Part of me is yeah, the problem is, I don't really like Switch as a console, and the reason why is I feel every year almost, it seems, and I know it's not, but Nintendo pulls a whole nother system out of their butt and you have to buy a new one, and it really bothers me because it's I just want to play the games, which I like about Xbox. They've only had 3 going on 4 Xboxes now with the new, and it's, I don't know. I really like it. I never really was a big PlayStation guy, mainly because, I don't know, it just, I feel, you know, Xbox does whatever they can. Like, you can literally send your Xbox in, they'll fix it. It has, like, warranties, where PlayStation, I had a friend, and, I don't know, this is actually about, Dick from the podcast. So I was with him, and he was calling them, and he's like, hey man, just, you know, he was kind of shy with it, so he's like, just make sure I'm doing okay. And they literally told him, like, to, like, just F off, like, the, you know, PlayStation, you know, support team. They told him just delete his entire account. Especially, like, when you download games, you don't want to delete your entire account, you know? Like, what's the point in that, you know? Everything you've worked for wasted. I know it's just a game, but, you know, I don't know. The whole thing just kind of off-put me, and that's why I don't really like PlayStation. I don't like how it's... I feel like with Xboxes, you can do... Like, they don't have things to record without a capture card. I just feel Xbox makes their stuff a lot more user-friendly. Sure, they don't have, you know, like, I'd love to play JoJo's games, because I'm a big JoJo's Bizarre Adventure guy, but I don't know. The whole thing just kind of... It's a thing, really. I wish, like...
Hunnigan, the gate's locked.
Nintendo would come out with just a regular, like, controller system. Not anything that's, like, weird, like, and gimmicky. Like, the GameCube is... I don't care what anyone says, but it is and will always be my favorite system. And that's because... it just... And I need to go back and play some of the games, and I have periodically throughout my life. And just, like, Super Mario Sunshine, that's still, like, to me as a kid, I know that's not, you know, on the scale that, like, open world, I guess you could say, RPGs are, like, Red Dead, or, you know, what's it called,
Got it.
I never really played GTA, but, that would be another example, or, like The Witcher nowadays, huge maps, but that as a kid, for me, was, like, I don't know, it just seemed really big. There was a lot to explore, and I liked that about it, you know, and it's a game I honestly find myself coming back to again and again. I loved all the Sonic games on GameCube. I know that's not technically Nintendo, but just something about, I don't know, something about GameCube, like, even like Pokemon Coliseum, that was ambitious for its time, you know, something just seemed... There was, you know, a way to explore and a lot going on, which I really liked about it. So, but yeah, so I haven't figured out the problem with the bullets. Why I'm not getting any or like able to pick any up, but we're gonna fight through this. We're gonna knife our way. Yeah, all in all, GameCube was just a beautiful system, in my opinion. I have no complaints about it. It is one, like, even when it was... I know the Wii can backwards compatibility, and honestly that's probably well used for streaming it, but I still have the original GameCube, and I still love it, just because... I don't know, there's just something about it. I'm looking at the two controllers there, and I have a black and silver one. It just... I don't know. That's why I like the Xbox. It reminds me of those controllers. Just the whole thing.
Any day now, we gotta get out of here.
I don't know. Never really liked PlayStation controllers just because they're so... I don't know, narrow, I guess you could say. It really has never appealed to me. They just always feel, you know, I got big hands. I don't want to use a little. That's kind of why I don't like Switch either. It's like, you know, I feel like Xbox made that good fit. And I know these are nitpicky details that have nothing to really do with gameplay, and they're more the actual console itself. But, you know, it just bothers me. I don't know. Really, the whole thing. Well, it doesn't bother me. I don't know what I'm saying, but like, I don't know. I feel like Xbox just makes a good quality product. Like, I know with PlayStation, those things are sensitive. Like, I'm gonna be straight up. My Xbox One and my 360 to an extent, literally, I brought those things up and back from school, and it is not a smooth ride to Southwest Wisconsin from Chicago. Like, Chicago it is, but you get on those roads, you're bumping up and down, that's in the back of the truck. And half time, I don't even have my backpack I have it in sealed up, like, cause it broke, so, yeah. It's a sturdy thing, I've never had any issues, really. The only thing I've ever run into a problem with Xboxes was my 360, because it's one like the rare white slims, so only like a handful were made, so like it has really special parts, so I actually had to get an external hard drive just to run that, because it got corrupted, in the like internal card, but it worked out. I mean, I don't know. Gotten to the point too where like I remember when it broke, I was so worried and like everything just seemed bad, like, oh, I'm not gonna play it, you know, I'm not gonna be able to screw around Red Dead anymore, and it just seemed like that wasn't even heist, was it? I don't even know if Red Dead was out, I don't know, but I just remember going into the shop and like I had to go get this like it fixed and stuff, and I was really like mad because it took, you know, this is with any technology, but it often costs more to diagnose the problem and not like even get it fixed, than to actually, you know, have it fixed. Like when you fix it, the solution. But they did a good job. I forgot what the service was, but no complaints, you know. I don't know, the whole thing just it was an experience. I remember as a kid, I'm like, oh, late or early teenager kind of thing. Wasn't really a kid, but I just thought like, oh, it's the end of the world. We're now like, you know, I'll do streaming videos, but I don't really play many games unless it's just like uneasy, you know, to just set my mind clear. Like, I don't consider myself a competitive gamer in the respects of consoles or PC, where, I don't know, just the whole thing, I really stuck more to, like, tabletop RPGs, and, like, card games are my big one. The formatting's just getting hard. I feel like kind of become a little too casual with it. I need to step up my game again, but that's why I sometimes like Yu-Gi-Oh! Over Magic. It is more competitive, I feel. Like Magic, you can just sit down, it's competitive, or it's like always a kind of, you know, it can be what you want it to be, where Yu-Gi-Oh! Really forces you to, you know, think and do things. But the cool thing about it is there are some ways to still be competitive, like, yet break the meta. And the meta's always changing, too. Like, I remember just a couple, like, last year, you know, well, not last year, but Salamand raids, those things were, like, the rage. Everyone bought those out, mainly because that deck had Ash Blossom in it. But, you know, and then it just, they're not as great. They're cool, but they're not like, you know, now I'd say, well, Orcists are the cards dominating the game. And for those of you who don't know, those are basically like kind of demon music kind of guys. really like kind of gothic look to them. And then Rockets, which are but it's like spelled Rock Hits. It's a they're the main antagonist's card in the anime, his archetype as they call it, and they're pretty cool. I like how whenever they die, they resummon another one from the deck at the end of the turn. But they're all themed after like artillery, except for one that's like a medic, and it's a needle. But they're all like gun themed, so they're kind of neat. They're little dragons. And they got big ones too. They got big boys. All the Boral dragons that are really interesting. I don't know. Just realized, like, it went quiet there, and I'm like, oh, the music for this is actually really neat. Kind of like it. I don't know, it's the little things in life. You gotta look for the little things. Little happy trees, as Bob Ross would say. That was really off topic. Oh no, I ramble a lot. I just realized that. No. Just kind of one of the things when I'm worried about, like, when I do get the capture card eventually, I'm worried about, like, you know, it's gonna be real time, so I can't just, you know, talk about things and have this going in the background for people to watch. It's gonna be different, but we'll see, you know, it's an experience. Joe's also for, not the podcast, because I think we're putting that on hold until we get a little more of a following. It's not, but like our just us, some people seem to like. So we bought a bunch of like equipment, and we're gonna do an experimental phase. Feeling it's gonna be kind of like a Good Mythical Morning thing, but you know, with us two degenerates up there. But you know, I don't know. I think it's gonna be fun. We're gonna try and throw something together Friday, although that doesn't mean anything because this video probably won't go up. But you know, it is what it is. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited. We're gonna get there. No, I know it's not. The problem with a lot of YouTube stuff is it seems like the people who are good at it are the people with equipment, and I don't, like, I rigged what I have. Literally, I'm using an Afterglow headset. Like, it's not good. It's not a good state, really, of, like, my whole setup, but I just wanted to try it one day, and I'm like, hey, I think I can do this, because, honestly, I saw, like, some, like, 10-year-old using the software, and, you know, that kid explained it, like, amazingly, and, you know, I don't know, it just, for me, it's more fun, you know. I don't know if I even plan on getting monetized or whatever, if I could even hope for that. I mean, it'd be nice, but I'm feeling I swear too much. Well, it helps now that they have that whole thing where it's like, and I know a lot of people would hate on me for saying this, but your content's not made for kids. Like, you know, although there are weird ways around that, it's still, you know, I think it really weeds out, like, yeah, kids won't see these videos, but I don't think, like, young kids anyhow. I mean, maturity level's different, but should be playing M-rated games. I mean, I always had to, like, I waited till I was at least probably 16 before I, like, actually started. There were a select few, like Call of Duty, but even this, like, I feel like it's in the mode of violence, you know, more so than the actual violence. Like, let's look at this. We're fighting zombies in order to save the world, you know. For Call of Duty, most of the time, except for, I'm trying to remember what game it is, you shoot up the mall. Most of the time, it's good intention. Like, you're in the military, you're trying to do something good. It's not like, you know, prior games like Manhunt that were literally just kill people in the most brutal ways possible, or, you know, even GTA or Red Dead for that. Like, Red Dead, you can do some nasty stuff, you know, and because it just is so much of an open freedom game. But I don't know. I think it really depends on the mode of the violence. Really, that's the key factor in a lot of you know, that's what I'm really gonna look at when it comes time for if I have children when they, you know, play games. What's the mode of the violence here? Well, anyway, I'll see you guys next.